Welcome, NFL lovers. You've just entered the gates of the NFL's fastest players in history. These guys will make your jaws drop, like a now you see me, now you don't type of situation. If you love both track and field and American football, then you will love this video. For a chance to win the latest PlayStation console, leave a like and comment the keywords displayed on the screen later on in the video. Also hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to catch up on more great videos. Stick around until the number 1. It will blow your mind. Without further ado, let's see how fast we can rush the yards of this video. Let's go! Number 10. Michael Vick. You want to know what impressive is? Check out Michael Vick. He is the only quarterback in NFL history to rush more than 1,000 yards in a single season. Over his entire career, he managed to rush over 4,600 yards and scored 32 rushing touchdowns. At the 2001 NFL Combine, Vick ran a 4.25 40-yard dash. When more young and athletic quarterbacks came to compete against the Philadelphia Eagles, Vick was never fazed, for he knew he was one of the fastest, if not the fastest, player on the field. In 2001, before he became the number 1 overall pick, Vick zipped through the 40-yard dash in a mere 4.33 seconds. Though not an official time, according to the NFL Combine, it would still be at a higher rank than any other quarterback since 2006. Even though he is retired, Vick should still be considered one of the NFL's fastest quarterback and can tear up the field with swiftness. If you think he is impressive, watch the player coming up next. Number 9. Cliff Branch. Everyone knew Cliff Branch was one to look out for due to his speed. Whether it may be sprinting or NFL, it was really anticipated to see what was next. Branch is a 4-time Pro Bowler that uses speed to run by defenders and tacklers. Throughout his entire career, he pulled 8,600 yards of reception and scored 67 touchdowns, in which he led the NFL in touchdown receptions in 1974 and 1976. He had a league-high 1,092 yards receiving in 1974. He won 3 NFL championships with the Raiders in Super Bowl 11, 15, and 18. He stands third among Raiders pass catchers in yards receiving with 8,685, behind Tim Brown and Fred Biletnikoff, who are both Hall of Famers. Branch once clocked at 9.2 seconds in the 100-yard dash at the University of Colorado. Insane speed. Number 8. Willie Gault. Willie Gault is possibly best remembered as a speedy wide receiver for the Chicago Bears and Los Angeles Raiders in the 1980s and early 90s. But for the last several decades, the leading receiver in Super Bowl 20 has also been mentioned in the world of track and field. Gault previously set world records in races in the 45 through 49 and 50 through 54 age groups, with respective times of 10.72 and 10.88 in the 100, and 21.80 and 22.44 in the 200. A former Tennessee Volunteer, Gault was taken 18th overall in the 1983 draft and played 11 NFL seasons. He caught 333 passes for 6,635 yards and 87 touchdowns in his pro career, and also returned 9 punts for 60 yards, rushed for 154 yards, returned 45 kickoffs for 1,088 yards, and scored 45 touchdowns, 44 receiving and 1 kickoff return. Based on his abilities back then, he might still have the speed to play till this day. Number 7. Randy Moss. Randy Moss has been one of the most prolific receivers in NFL history. He played in the NFL for 14 seasons as a wide receiver. Widely titled as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Moss has the NFL record for most touchdown receptions in a season, 23 in 2007, most TD receptions by a rookie in a season, 17 in 1998, most seasons with 17 or more TD receptions, 3, and is second on the NFL all-time regular touchdown reception list with 156. He played for the Minnesota Vikings from 1998 to 2004, then back in 2010, Oakland Raiders from 2005 to 2006, New England Patriots from 2007 to 2010, Tennessee Titans from 2010 to 2012. He is a 7-time Pro Bowl selection and a member of the NFL 2000s All-Decade Team. At the 1998 NFL Combine, Moss ran a 4.25 40-yard dash. Even many years later, Moss still has extraordinary speed and agility. After his pro football career, he became an NFL analyst on ESPN. Number 6. Chris Johnson. As a former American football running back, Chris Johnson was drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the first round of the NFL 2008 draft. At the time he ran what was then a record-breaking time, 4.24 seconds in a 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. He also won the NFL rushing title with 2,006 yards, being the 6th out of 8 players to ever reach 2,000 in one season. Chris Johnson has become one of the league's premier players, and a Pro Bowl starter in his first 3 seasons. Johnson set the NFL record for 2,509 scrimmage yards in the 2009 season after breaking the record previously set by Marshall Faulk. This earned him the name CJ2K. He was named the AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year in that same year. Johnson also played for the New York Jets and Arizona Cardinals. Chris had all the qualifications of a powerful running back: the speed, explosive power, and elusiveness. Before he was drafted in the NFL in 2007, he became one of the country's top all-purpose backs, then went on to become the nation's top all-purpose yardage leader with 212.7 yards per game. This guy has been dominating even before the NFL. Chris was a great player, but you can't miss number 1. Keep watching. Now that you have reached this far, drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and you will be legendary like these fine folks. Number 5. Tyreek Hill. Nicknamed Cheetah, you know Tyreek Hill is the face of speed. Due to his legal standing back in 2016, he was not invited to the NFL 2016 draft. However, the Kansas City Chiefs signed him in the same year and went under intense scrutiny through press releases about Hill's legality. Despite all of this, he got quick attention when he returned a kickoff for an 86-yard touchdown against the Denver Broncos and achieved a speed of 22.77 miles per hour and became the fastest of that season. Because of this, he was titled the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. At the end of the season, he was listed to the 2017 Pro Bowl and NFL All-Rookie team and was placed in the 36th spot out of 100 for the top NFL players of 2017. In 2018, in the season opener against the Los Angeles Chargers, Hill recorded 3 touchdowns in one game and 3 receiving touchdowns in the 6th game. He had the best season stats with 87 receptions for 1,479 yards and 12 touchdowns. Number 4. Deion Sanders. After 5 years with the Atlanta Falcons, 1989 to 1993, Deion Sanders signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers back in 1994. With this team, he was awarded the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in 1994, had an NFL record of 19 defensive return touchdowns, and also led the club to a Super Bowl title. As it relates to speed, Sanders ran a 4.21 40-yard dash at the 1989 NFL Combine. He was the only athlete to complete in both World Series and the Super Bowl. After this season, he signed a $35 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys, which lasted 4 years. History was made when he played both wide receiver and defensive back, since he was the first player to do it in almost 4 decades. Sanders collected 4 more interceptions when he signed with the Washington Redskins in 2000. Deion Sanders was one of the most electric players in NFL history. During his career, Sanders intercepted 53 passes for 1,331 yards, a 25.1 yards per return average, recovered 4 fumbles for 15 yards, returned 155 kickoffs for 3,523 yards, gained 2,199 yards on 212 punt returns, and caught 60 passes for 784 yards. Spectacular! Number 3. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was one of the most amazing athletes of our time and was a member of the Los Angeles Raiders from 1987 to 1990. He was selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the first overall pick of the 1986 NFL Draft. Jackson played in only 53 games in the minor leagues before making his debut with the Royals in 1986. In 1987, he was once again eligible for NFL Draft and was selected in the 7th round by the Los Angeles Raiders. He was named to the American League All-Star team where he made 32 home runs and 105 runs batted in. The following year, he earned Pro Bowl honors when he rushed for 698 yards and 5 touchdowns over 10 games. He ran an insane time of 4.12 seconds, hand-timed 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, which is still the fastest verifiable 40-yard dash time ever recorded at any NFL Combine. With his 4 seasons in the NFL, Jackson rushed for 2,782 yards, 2,544 meters, and 16 touchdowns with an average yards per carry of 5.4. Powerful player indeed. Don't worry, we're almost there. Stick around for number 1. Number 2. Bob Hayes. Given the alias Bullet Bob was no mistake when Bob Hayes was given this name. He was originally an Olympic gold medalist sprinter, but then he became an American football wide receiver in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys from 1965 to 1974. Hayes was 3-time Pro Bowler and was selected for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2009 and was enshrined into the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor in 2001. He was portrayed as one of the best athletes of all time due to his dual sport background. He once held the record for the 7-yard dash at 6.9 seconds and have dominated 60, 100, and 220-yard dashes in his time. He was then considered as the fastest human on Earth. At the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Hayes won the 100-meter and broke the existing world record with a time of 10.06 seconds. He is the only athlete to win an Olympic gold medal and a Super Bowl ring. Number 1. Darrell Green. Guys, you are a legend if you made it to number 1, so drop a like. Darrell Green, now retired, was a cornerback in the NFL for the Washington Redskins from 1983 to 2002. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2008 and is regarded as one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. Not only was he phenomenal for the first few years of his career, he had the ability to play at a top-notch level in his 40s, something that even people in their 30s cannot do or never make it into. Amazing! It was reported that he recorded at time of 4.09 seconds at the Washington Redskins training camp back in 1986, though he claimed he was only aware of clocking 4.15 seconds, but regardless, that is still an incredible speed. In 1988, he founded the Darrell Green Youth Life Foundation, and in 1993 there was the grand opening of the Darrell Green Youth Life Learning Center. Here ends the top 10 fastest NFL players in history. Feel free to comment another player you think should be on this list. This was definitely a touchdown, won't you say? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome content and leave video suggestions. By the way, check out one of the awesome videos on the screen.